All right, y'all. So what we got going on here is a quick and dirty demo of NURU. So it's pitch black in here for a reason. That is because we are trying to illustrate the wonderful effects of using this device. So I have my camera set up, and what we're going to be doing is making sure that you can see the making sure that you can see and hear the effects of NURU. So I'll just make sure that we got some audio. What I'm going to do is bypass the insert first. So we shouldn't hear anything except the raw audio. So this way we get to hear exactly what this sounds like before we mess with it. Okay, so here we go. Let's see what we got. Now this is bypass, but it's gonna light up. I'll do this just so you don't see the. Pretty hot track. Turn it down some. Now right now NURU is bypass. And this effects processor, what's pretty dope about it is that what I find pretty cool is that this is a passive device. It runs on no power supply, so it runs on no phantom power, etc., right? But what we're gonna do is I'm gonna turn the volume up real quick, and we're gonna give this a listen. All right, so watch what happens when I turn NURU on. So I'm gonna put it in, put it back in full engage, and we're gonna give this a listen. All right. Now we're gonna turn NURU on. Watch this. Let's get some of that gain back. You automatically notice it warms up and kind of takes away some of the top end sizzle. This is one of the starter settings, but it also adds a lot of bottom end. Notice I'm not really driving it. I'm not really hitting it. And push the signal in a little bit hotter. Get those levels a little closer. Look at the bottom end. Stupid, right? Now NURU only has 2 sets of immediate controls. Look at the noise floor on that. Negative 95, right? Negative 92. On average, negative 93. So NURU only has 2 sets of controls on it on the outside. It has a bypass, which you can see me use. And it also has a more or less switch for more compression and saturation and bottom end, or less, right? So right now we're in less mode. So watch what happens when I switch to more. You notice the lights get brighter too. So it obviously gets a lot more juicy. difference. That's dry. Here's wet. Let's try some different material. Distragaloop. Yay. Take it back to less. One thing about NURU that's kind of dope is that it's to the music, the way the light works. Dry. Wet. Now there's some setup switches in here. So I'm going to take this lid off and push play. If I can sneak this in there. And what I've engaged is like basically, I guess like the motif of the unit, right? So the noise floor goes, goes down some, etc., etc. But what happens is that there are two extra calibration switches in here that allow you to make the unit darker and also to mix in some clean signal with the dry. So like what you're hearing now is a feedback circuit with the dry and the wet, so that I can get more clarity out of the signal. So when I'm playing with the levels and all that, I have some clean mixed in, and it really changes the dynamic. So check it out. We're gonna go back to the first clip, see what we can get. God forgive me with this latency, it crackles a little bit. Get that lined up. Now dry and wet is different. Wet. Let's push the input a little bit more. A little bit too much, right? Remember, you can always turn it up more. Dry, wet. So this tool is designed really to kind of create a premise of I guess almost like, adding a liqueur to a sound, right? It's not like a lot of other devices out there. This is kind of a one-trick pony that actually has more than one trick up its sleeve, right? And so what that allows you to do is kind of really re-engineer sounds. For those of you that are using loops and stuff from sample packs, etc., this really changes it up, right? Because this gives you like another layer to really mess with. So like look at the dry sound on this, and I'm gonna switch it back over. Leave it just like that and more. So the dry sound itself is pretty bad, right? It's pretty dope. But let's switch it to the wet. Let's find that spot where we can go good. This is dry. Wet. And you don't even gotta hit it that high sometimes to get the effect. Make up the gain. Dry. Wet. Goodness gracious. Disgusting. Turn it down to less. It's dry. Wet. Let's try some regular drums. Turn them down a little bit. Dry. Wet. Start it over. Make sure we hitting that input good though. Don't want to underhit it. There we go. Let's get it leveled up now. That's dry. Wet. Let's turn it up. Hit it a little hotter. Dry versus wet. Here's dry. Wet. Try to get a master to go. Dry. Wet. Put it back to less. Dry. Let's go to a dry drum loop. Like a dry rock drum loop. Now it's bypass right now. Let me turn that off. So we'll put it back in there. This is what NURU bypassed. Put the inserts back in. So I'm gonna turn NURU back on. Look at that. Wet. Hear that compression? Turn it up to more. Push a little harder. Dry. Wet. Dry. Now you really hear it. Dry. Wet. Oh yeah, you hear that. Go to another section. It's dry. Good. Wet. Dry. I'm gonna push the input more on the wet side. Wet. Let's get these. The dry versus the wet is crazy. There we go. Look at that. Dry. Wet. Bless. You see that? Dry. Boring. Wet. All right, let's take it back to the beginning since this is a nice setting. Try to find that sweet spot. That sounds good. You hit a thump, like the thump is gone now, just on dry. Wet. All right, so that kind of concludes the demo for now. I hope that you were able to gain some insight from this. Again, I'll be doing more and more videos as time gets closer and closer to start taking orders for this, because right now all I'm waiting on is just the enclosures to arrive, and we are going to be cooking with gas with this device for narrative audio. Again, thank you for watching, and feel free to ask us questions. You can always reach us, Ayana@narrativeaudiotech.com or Langston@narrativeaudiotech.com, and we'll be glad to